Thank you for clicking on the Jank Collective podcast number 1. I would just like to say a couple things before we get on to the first episode. First being that this is our first time. We're going to be getting a podcast arm, or a mic arm, I should say. So there's going to be some tapping during the recording. This will not continue for the next episode onwards. Second of all, this is a mature-rated podcast, so if you're offended by any swear words or vulgar comments, please tune out now. Other than that, thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoy. Welcome to the Jank Collective podcast. I'm your host, Alex, and I have three other awesome hosts. Sean.
Hi, I'm Sean.
Mitch.
Doctors.
Corey.
Hello.
And in today's episode, we're just going to be going over ourselves, what we like to play, a little bit about our history with Destiny, and then we're going to go over the new FAQ, which released just last week or earlier this week. And if we have time, we're going to go over the new spoiled cards in the new star sets. So in no particular order, Mitch, why don't you start us off? When did you start playing Destiny? What's your kind of favorite deck? What were you playing pre-errata, and what are you going to start playing now?
Well, this is my first CCG. I come from a big board game background, but I've never played a competitive card game, that's for sure. Right now, I tend to be on the Cad Bane train, I think. When we get to the errata stuff, I guess we talk about that. I actually started it with Sienna, but I moved into Phasma because the meta was so aggro heavy. But now I'm back to Sienna, and I do think I'm going to be able to make that sing here. So.
Okay. And what do you say is your favorite kind of archetype of deck?
I'm really enjoying aggro right now.
Aggro?
For sure. Yep.
Awesome.
Anything with bait and switch in it, I think he likes.
Basically anything that cheats. You ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't winning, Alex.
Yeah, that's pretty much the meta. Corey, how about you go?
So I'm in the same boat with Mitch. This is my first real card game. I was playing heavy into miniatures before this with War Machine and then Armada, and now it's pretty much just been Destiny since the start.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of a shield hero guy in the meta, although now it seems like it's probably going to be everyone playing that junk. As far as archetypes, I love Hero Blue, and I just like cards that do nerdy, nasty things, like Force Misdirects and reversals, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And shields.
Yeah, shields.
Don't forget shields.
Well, I mean...
Yeah, important thing of note, Mitch, you tend to only play villains, and same with you, Sean, and we'll get to that in a second. And Corey, you're the only main hero guy. You only play heroes unless someone lends you a deck.
Unless
Correct.
I'm giving you my Phasma for you to suck dick with. So
I only have heroes. Yes.
Yeah, you only play heroes. And Sean.
All right, I'm Sean. I'm going to say fuck a lot. Sometimes I'll say shit, and might drop a cunt here and there. This is a mature podcast.
Yeah.
We're just going to be ourselves, so I'm terrible. My first CCG, I played a lot of other games like War Machine. I'm a gamer. I like to think I'm competitive, but I don't play competitive decks. We all know that.
Yeah.
Right now, Bosk.
Bosk.
I don't think he's just okay. I really think he's really okay. No, right now I'm playing Bosk. Tonight I played a nice Bosk Dooku list to mixed. It was mixed. I lost the one terribly to a shield deck. Go figure. Even though I built to fight shields, but. Yeah, before in the meta, I was running pretty much everything, but I don't play a lot of like the top tier shit. So, yeah, that's just me.
My name is Alex. I play both sides of the spectrum. I play heroes, I play villains, I play whatever I'm feeling like that week. Most nights I'll build a deck 20 minutes before I need to leave work to go play Destiny. So I don't usually try and play the same deck more than once per week. Before the errata, I was playing a 2-die new Phasma, 1-die FN, 1-die Bazine, 3 wide and a not very
3-wide meta for a long time, and
Yeah.
now that's been nerfed. I'm trying to figure out something else.
But Alex, what are you really wanting to play?
I really want to play more Jin decks.
And how's that going? It works. It works. It works.
Did
You
not
can make
work.
it
It did not work in Spirit or Rebellion, but it's kind of working in
Fucking
Empire
liar.
War, and it's gonna keep getting better the more cards that get released. And like everyone else here, this is my first real trading card game, collectible card game. I played Magic back when I was like 10 years old, but didn't really stick. But Star Wars is definitely here to stay for me, and I absolutely love it.
Now, Alex, what is your favorite yellow card?
Reversal.
Oh man,
Reversal. Maybe a reversal. It's tough between. It's one of those
It's
three.
fucking reversal every time. Every time. Anytime this guy's sitting there with some money and he's got a smirk on his face, there's a reversal coming. And if not, he's going to cheat it in. So be ready for that.
My second favorite card, though, honestly, Double Cross. That's
Reversal-ish. All right,
yeah,
great.
it's like reversal light. I love it. Some of the best cards, I believe, are in yellow. And you got Bait and Switch, you got Reversal, you got Double Cross, you got Threaten. There's so many great yellow cards.
Even if they're not the best, they're the funnest to play.
Exactly. I hate blue. I don't like playing blue. I love yellow.
You just haven't played the right blue deck.
I
You just
played a
haven't
blue
found-
deck tonight.
You haven't found the right blue deck.
Yeah.
Like, try my Bosk Dooku. You'll find out how subpar it is, and you'll love it. It's great. It feels great when you win.
Oh man, I really
So
love
great.
that jank.
I won 3 times tonight against you suckers.
Yeah, did you beat the 1-die Vader, 1-die Thrawn deck?
No, didn't get to play that one. Didn't get the 1 die. No.
I thought, I looked over, I'm like, oh, it's a blue with a Thrawn. It has to be Thrawn Kylo. No. I have never been more wrong in my life. Who told him to play that deck?
He came bringing the Thrawn Vader on his own, and this is Thrawn and Awakenings Vader, 1 die each.
Yeah.
And this guy, he's in our meta. He's crazy, but he will make it work. He will make it work. I don't know how he did tonight.
I can't remember how he did.
Yeah, but I'm sure he made it work. He didn't. It wasn't an easy. I'm sure people didn't roll over him. So
It's such a weird deck.
He's a good player.
So guys, what's our flair? What are we bringing to the table?
I didn't bring any flair.
That's different from everybody else here.
Well, I brought cider.
Other content creators. What are we going to bring forth with this?
It's mature rated. We speak of our minds. Also, we're not professionals. We don't go play at like every single regionals. We don't go play at Worlds, Nationals. We're kind of your average cast of players that play a lot of different decks. We're not just playing the same old meta decks. If you're tired of seeing the same old, oh, here's the best deck, and you're going to see it a lot, we're going to introduce decks that are a lot more fun, a lot more different, that make you think that, you know, we have like over 400 or 500 cards. There's other decks out there, and they're fun. And when at the end of the day, it's a fun game. You don't need to smash your friends over and over again. You can have fun and play some weird
I
decks.
know. I kind of like.
I think it's safe to say we're going to look at the fun side of Destiny. I think that's one of my goals with this.
Yeah. The fun. Competitive is fun. It can be really fun. I'm a competitive player, but it's fun to bring out some janky Ibala, Ibazine, Guavian, and just throw on 2 deadlies and have a good time, right?
We should probably also let everyone know that we're Canadian,
Yeah.
and that should at least speak volumes because I mean, really,
Yeah.
we say sorry a lot. So I'm sorry if this is terrible already, and that you're ready to blow your brains out. But if you're still here,
Yeah, if you're still here like 5 minutes in, we appreciate you.
don't worry, we've got notes and sheets and shit. You're gonna love it.
Yeah,
It's
we're all
great.
ready. So I guess we should jump into our first topic here, which is the new rules reference that came out recently and really shook up the meta and pretty much crushed the top 5 decks.
Thank God.
Yeah, big swing.
Thank God.
So, as everyone knows, really quickly, a lot of characters actually got a point increase. And, yeah, here it is at the bottom. A lot of characters, and this is really something I really appreciate Fantasy Flight Games doing right now, is they're not scared to increase the point cost of characters, which everyone said they're not going to do. They're not going to change the point cost of characters. They went ahead and did it. They did the crazy. I really appreciate them doing that, and we can maybe expect it happening in the future as well.
I feel like it was the easiest way to correct a lot of the problems without having to actually
Right.
change the dice and making it difficult for new people to follow. And I mean, just point costs are much easier.
As much as I don't like point cost changes, because it's really, I don't know, I just don't like it at all. But it's easier to remember than if they change the text on the card. Mm-hmm. So if they change like FN and Unkar's text, it'd be a lot harder to remember exactly what that said. But if it just changed the point cost, you get that out of the way right when you put your characters in, and you don't think about it the rest of the deck build.
It's just numbers at that point.
Right.
If you guys are using SW Destiny DB, which is what most of us do to build our decks, you're not having to worry about the text. You're just worrying about the math. Do these characters work in 30 points?
So I think they just went the simplest route, I think.
And it's so easy when you just sit down across from a new player. You don't have to be like, oh, hey, by the way, here's my paper. Here's all the cards in my deck that have FAQs on them. It's just easier to be like, yep, it is as it is. It's this character has 1 more point, so it is 30 points, not 29 points. And they're not wondering, oh, why didn't you put a plot card in there? One legacy comes out.
Right.
That being said, I think they swung a little heavy with some of the drastic point changes. I really like the Phasma point change, personally, the one. I thought that was needed. But I don't know. How do you feel about Poe, at the very least there, buddy?
Just to be very quick and interrupt here.
Whoa.
For anyone who's been living under a rock,
Whoa.
new Phasma from the 2-player starter set went up from 913 to 1014. First number being this 1 die, second number being the elite version. FN went up 2 points from 1013 to 1215. Unkar Plut is up 2 points as well from 1013 to 1215. And the old Poe Dameron from Awakenings is up from 1418 to 1620.
So no more Poe Mass. That's how you're going to fix it. Yeah.
So,
good thing they released a second
Corey, are you
Poe.
going to play Poe anymore, old Poe?
I think they pretty much, they could have just banned him at this point.
He has a special place in your binder now?
What do you play with him?
I agree that Poe Maz probably would have came back after all these changes, but I mean that was the only pairing that Poe had that was tier 1 or whatever.
Let's be realistic. What made Poe Maz the deck?
Well,
it wasn't
both of them together,
Poe's
right?
Special, but there was an enabler in there.
Yeah,
I don't know why they did that to Poe. They pretty much murdered him. I don't know.
they should have just. In my opinion, they should have just said you can't play them together. Yeah. Because now Poe, what are you playing with? Ezra?
1 die snap.
Yeah, it just...
Yeah, you took
that was always my vote. You just can't play those two characters together. I've been reading, I know other collectible card games do that.
Yeah.
They just have a ban on certain combinations, or in certain deck archetypes you can only play one of a card. I would have liked to have seen that personally. Or I don't even play the hero side.
At least the possibility of maybe making it so Maz can only do I guess instantly activate her dice with her ability.
But then you're killing Maz.
It's true, but it's still, I don't know.
And a lot of the consensus was it wasn't Poe Maz that was the problem, it was Thermal Detonator that was the problem. Allowing Poe to use any weapon, throwing out thermals for 9 wide against 3 characters or 12 wide against 4 character lists really hurt the deck. Even with 1 die Maz, you can fit 1 die Maz in there, right?
Yep.
Being able to focus over and
get
the special, or throw the goggles on her, focus over, hit the thermal, it's still going to happen. It's now just less effective and requires more money for you to do it.
It's a little slower. Again, it's like the fast hands nerf.
Yeah,
nerf for that.
I think you can still play 1 die Maz with Poe Dameron. Get a goggles on her. You essentially have Maz back, and now you're going to be hitting focuses again and throwing out thermals again.
So it's still there, just a little slower.
It's just not as consistent.
We'll have to see.
I don't think anyone's even going to find out if it's good, though.
I'll play it.
That's a challenge.
So Poe's trash. So who we got next?
So up
Who
next,
else is trash?
let's go with new Phasma, the controversial new Phasma.
Trash is good.
She was really good, and a lot of people have been crying out on Reddit and Facebook and Discord that I'm not going to name names.
Fucking Ray.
every Discord, I'm sure.
Every Discord. Pretty much it's been, well, now a new player's going to pick up the starter set, and they're going to walk up to a tournament, and they're going to be like, what do you mean this doesn't fit? What do you mean I have 31 points?
We got an issue with that a little bit. I can't believe they did it, first off.
I mean, it sucks, but you can still play it. It's just 1 die.
Yeah.
You lose 1 die either side. And I mean, I think Lucas said even in an interview that was Phasma's original point value.
Which makes sense. Because it's...
Her dice are way above the curve at that point level.
They're great. I like it. Maybe she should have been 15. She could have been, but...
How did she ever get out the door?
Well, I think they just needed it for the 2-player set.
Yeah.
They just needed her to fit with Kylo.
No, you got a good point, Mitch. It's stuff like that you hope you don't see next year, right?
Right.
Like,
But I mean, looking at this errata though, at least now it looks like maybe they're thinking about this a little bit better. I don't know.
true. We're talking about the first year of Destiny.
They killed
right?
a lot of things with this, which was kind of.
To name the top 5 decks that were out, it was Shiny and Whiny, also known as Emo Vader or Darth Vader Dark Apprentice, with the new Captain Phasma, Ruthless Tactician, I believe is her subtitle on there. 4-dice start, really amazing. Pumps out a lot of damage. Then you had new Kylo. I can't remember what his subtitle was. Something emo. And
The Tormented.
yeah, the Tormented one or
Something
something silly like that. With FN, 2-die FN. Who do you kill? And it really restricts deck building as well because you face up against it at our Art of War event where you're playing a monocolored blue deck against this FN Kylo. It was, you played for the camera, you knew how the game was going to work. He's going to call blue.
I mean, you're getting at least 6 free damage, right?
Yeah.
With new Kylo against
It's
a
got
mono
12
deck.
health. Plus, I mean,
Yeah.
if they get it dug in there, now you're looking a little more. If they manage to get shields first off, like it's.
Again, I'd have to add, how did that go out the door?
Yeah.
Like you ruined an entire 40% deck building style, like monocolored decks.
Yeah, monocolored decks were dead at that point. You can't bring them to tournaments because if you face up against Kylo or the new Kylo, that's an instant loss. You're in the loser's bracket.
2 damage is just too much.
Six health without even really trying if you're playing mono.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah,
That's what you get for free.
yep.
You got
And this deck would still be good if not for the rest of the changes with the errata. So we'll go over those in a bit, and we'll come back to that deck.
Yep.
The next deck up would be something that you played, Mitch. ECAD E New Phasma.
Yes.
And I played up against it a few times. It has this nasty habit of, okay, Cat has a holdout blaster. He's going to override that holdout blaster, roll in, and then use the ambush action from the holdout blaster to resolve dice. And if you can get 2 or 3 weapons on him, that's a scary amount of damage per round. You could kill a character, 10 damage, if you get the right roll.
Get an LL on there too. Get a holdout.
I think that deck was underrated. It didn't get the buzz I think it deserved. I think it was gross. So on that note, I'm glad that the errata came so that you can't have 2 elite characters there. I mean, our last tournament, I played 2 matches that only made it to the top of turn 2.
Yeah.
Just because of the action cheating and
Exactly.
the damage potential.
It's gross.
And to me, that's not even fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
I'm playing to win. I'm playing to have fun too.
Yeah.
But that deck wasn't even fun. It felt so dirty. I didn't like being on that side of it sometimes.
Yep. And I played up against it. I got really lucky during our Art of War event, but I've had times when we're sitting across each other at our Friday night games, and it was like, oh, well, Jen has a second chance on her. She needs 10 damage to get killed, and she's dead.
There's
Wow,
10 damage.
wow. Okay.
Twice over.
Yeah.
Right when it goes off, if I get that good mulligan in that draw, like there's nothing you can do about it.
Yep. And you're just taking money. You're like, okay, I'm just going to logistics this Phasma die for $2, and now it's like, well, you're going to play a gun, and you're going to override a gun next round. It gets really gross really quickly.
Yes.
So thankfully she's down to 1 with him at least. So
Now she's down to 1, so Phasma's not as gross in that deck because you kill Cad and then suddenly all the weapons shift over to Phasma, whose 2 dice are really strong, 3 damage sides with a focus and a dollar.
Yeah.
It really hurts you. But with 1 die, she's a little bit more manageable.
Yeah.
I'm happy for that change. I think we'll probably see that deck, but now you're definitely going to be like, well, kill Cad.
Yeah.
It's an easy decision. It's no longer, well, if I kill Phasma, then I kill Cad. If I get lucky, then I can kill Cad, and the weapons don't redeploy over. And Phasma has less health by 2. It was a really nasty deck, and especially with things like bait and switch in there. Really gross. Next deck, we should move on to Thrawn Unkar. Elite dice of both versions. It didn't see a whole lot of play in our Calgary meta.
Yeah, I think I played it twice.
I actually never played it once.
I played against a lot of it when Empire War came out. I played against you, Mitch. I played against
TTS
Martin.
maybe.
I played against Colin. There was a few players that did play it, but it was very early. We didn't see all the things like detention centers and prize possessions. So we never got to experience that side of the deck.
But in our meta, it was getting smashed by a lot of these heavy aggro decks that were deemed to be top tier. I think that's why we held them back.
Again,
in our
it
meta.
was a little bit early to call whether that deck was going to survive in our meta or not, because I think people were playing it rather poorly. No offense to anyone that played it in our group. It's just, there were certain cards I looked at in the deck, I'm like, I don't feel like those belong. You need a lot more removal, and the removal wasn't there. The hard removal, like prize possession, detention center, etc.
Like there was a lot of there's a lot of different cards you can put in that deck, right? And I don't think that just no one put the time in here.
Yeah,
I immediately teched for it. Like Fair Trade was an instant add.
Two Rens
with this new set of cards.
Fair Trade has actually seen a huge resurgence in our local meta.
And I love it every fucking time I get it off.
Yeah.
Even if it's for 2, I don't give a shit.
I have no idea who started it, but
Blame
God,
Mitch.
I wish it was over.
I'm trying to take credit. Like I've smashed Corey twice with it.
Yeah. It's just
I've smashed you with it. I used it in our Empire or Art of War event just to like, oh, you have $3? I'm just gonna take those and next round drop a T7. God,
I got to play it tonight with the Thrawn. He was ready. He just re-rolled to re-roll because he knew he had action advantage against me. He hits his 2, and I'm sitting there with already showing on my lightsaber. I'm not going to re-roll my lightsaber. And I got to swap 2 for 1 right like that. And it felt great. Screwed his hand up because he wanted to play something for 2.
Yeah.
He couldn't do it. Yeah. It feels good when it goes off, even if it's just 2 for 1.
And you did it to me today to pull out $7 worth of weapons round 1. God.
Well, presently I only have 1 in the deck, and as we all know, Sean and Corey are both money hoarders.
Yeah.
And I've seen Corey look down at his pile of cash while I'm studying my hand, and he's worried. He's
every time.
Do you have it? Do you have it?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh God.
So
of course he has it.
Corey's one of those players where you look over halfway through the game and he's sitting on like $6 and you're wondering how it got to this point.
Don't forget he's got a Ray with 2 Padawans and God knows how many items are on them. And you're just, why is life like this?
How happy were you when Reaping the Crystal came out?
Oh my God. And Funeral Pyre.
Yeah.
I mean, got the boost they needed, I think. But anyways,
So yeah.
for those listening, I mean, yes, we have the top tier decks rolling around in our group. I'm going to say our group's about anywhere from 10 to 20 people at a tournament strong.
Hey, Tappy McHenderson, stop tapping.
But
so we'll edit that out, don't worry.
And everybody likes to think their meta's special, and I know we definitely think our meta's special. We definitely have a couple of characters in our group that will only build their own stuff. We see some really, really interesting decks at times.
Yeah.
And I think that's maybe why we haven't seen a lot of the Thrawn Ankar. And even Kylo Phasma really didn't show up. I think everybody almost felt bad to play it.
Yeah. Kylo Phasma came out to our Art of War event. Congrats to Raid for winning the Art of War event with that deck. More power to him. It's a great deck.
It's gone now, though.
Solid gone now.
Peace, sucker.
Even tonight we had a lot of strange decks. We had like a Baze Snap, we had a 3-wide Wookiee, we had...
Can you guys not agree that it was fucking amazing tonight? The atmosphere, everyone was laughing, having a great time. You know, just nerf
even
all the
Alex
bullshit.
was laughing.
Yeah.
When
I never laugh,
And I got 2 fucking buys.
Okay, to be fair, that 1 damage, you hit an agenda block on a Seeker Droid die for 1 damage, and it won you the game. I was ready to kill Maz and just get rid of her 2 done deal 44s, and I'm sitting on 7 damage on 7th Sister. And I'm like, I need to kill her this round, otherwise I lose. And hidden agenda into a block. I got blocked 3 times tonight. What is this, Awakening?
Didn't you get blocked by the 3 Wookiees too?
Yeah, I got blocked by Jason's kid twice.
Yeah. First turn, didn't you roll? You rolled like nuts on the 3.
a 1 on the Vibra Knife, 2 on Grievous, and a 3 for Dull on Grievous, and then he blocks, and I'm this close to playing Price of Failure in round 1, just a rolling Grievous again.
I kind of wish you did kill yourself and then fucking fucks you like that somehow, but yeah, go figure.
Oh god, it was lovely.
But anyways, like what I was saying,
Anyways,
it's like after that errata, after that, our first night having a tournament, not only do we have a huge, a decently sized show.
11 people.
We have no product. We're just playing for fun and some tokens.
Yeah, for some reason, we have no product here in Alberta.
Yeah, nothing in Canada. Our side, I should say, Western Canada.
Well, at least in
Alberta.
Calgary.
Yeah,
Calgary, we had nothing. We haven't since the release at one of our shops. We have not seen an extra box.
Yep.
This was our third straight Friday where we've had nothing to
Nothing.
play for other than the store offering up stuff of their own.
So thanks, Asmodee Canada. We really appreciate it.
Shout out to Myth Games for printing up a ton of tokens. I've been giving out to alt arts, but it's not enough to drive a whole bunch of people out. But I'm glad people are playing for fun now.
Yeah.
Like we saw a lot of really cool decks tonight. But we should quickly move on to Pomaz, which was also the 5th deck.
Are you sure you don't want to just keep talking about how much fun we're having?
Yeah, we're
No.
having so much fun.
Okay, so much
This
fun.
podcast isn't about fun.
Oh yeah, sorry. Sorry.
Sorry.
Jank shit.
The Jank Collective.
All right.
Alrighty, so quickly on to Pomaz. Corey, as a resident hero player.
Talk about this. Poem has a broken deck.
Never played it.
Actually, he fucking did.
Spoiler alert, I played it 4 times, lost all 4 games.
Yeah.
You did play Po Ray though.
Yes.
In Store Champ season. That doesn't fit anymore, does it?
No.
Today.
That's
No.
gone too.
I mean,
Too.
And her dice suck anyways, so you could still play her at 1.
it's a pretty swingy deck anyway. You're
Yeah.
just really looking for those double mind probe special plays.
Yeah, vibro knife, the holdout blaster to mind probe to the face is
Yeah.
not fun.
That really sucks.
Don't worry.
But-
Don't worry, they fixed that.
But you know what? There's so many characters now and more coming out.
Someone's coming.
I think it's also
Whatever.
great for the design of the game that 3 wide and 4 wide will no longer get punished by this
Yeah.
really harmful deck.
I know another guy that plays a lot of AoE though.
Yeah.
So it's out there.
Who?
I don't know, some jizz bucket sitting across from me.
I don't play AoE. I created a dumb deck.
A dumb
All
deck
right.
that'll just
Touch the
blow up
So,
on 3 and 4 wide.
What else do we want to talk
hold
about
on,
for the...
we really need to just shit on
Errata.
nines. Like, just shit
Oh
on
yeah,
them.
we should.
We haven't shit on them
We
yet.
gotta talk
Well,
about
let's-
nines.
I
let's
think
go into-
FFG took the biggest shit on 9s. So.
Yeah. So we'll move on to 9 soon enough, but let's get to some of the more obscure rule changes before we get into how they kind of ruined 9s here.
Whoa.
If you're out of the loop.
Didn't
So,
ruin him. They just made him what he should have been to begin with.
Mitch, do you want to just read off on the second page?
Hey, you ready? You're not even on the second page, Mitch. Come on, man. This is
Top
professional.
1.
Yeah. Sound it out. There you go.
Our out of play? Is that
Yep,
what we're looking
out of play.
That's the one.
So, yeah, one of the new rules out of play. A card leaves play when it transitions from the play area to the out of play area. Remove all tokens from that card. Biggest cards this affect, City Plaza and New Orders.
Yep. So one of the rules debates online for a little while was City Plaza. City Plaza, when you claim, you put a damage token on the battlefield, or you move all that damage from the battlefield to a character. Didn't really see a whole lot of play, but people were wondering if you New Orders, did the tokens get removed? Yes. Tokens get removed from the card. I didn't think it was. I thought it was fairly clear. Like the battlefield's gone and loses everything,
Would make sense.
but now it just clears things up and it prevents things in the future from being rules debated.
Probably won't come up much, but...
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, I had seen a discussion as well. What's the gun that lets you use your battlefield?
Ascension gun?
Ascension.
The Ascension gun, thank you.
Right.
If you have that battlefield in your out of play area and you use Ascension gun, it's I believe it's been determined that you can take your tokens off of your
Yep.
character to save the health and put it on that card in the out of play
Right.
area.
Okay. I didn't. I think I saw that in the FAQ. I think it's in here somewhere. If not, oh well, whatever.
Right, because
doesn't
I think
matter.
you just lose tokens when it goes out of play. Right?
It's
Yeah.
when it enters or leaves that imaginary line, so to speak. Likewise,
Exactly.
if you actually manage to pull it off and use the Ascension gun again, you could bring the token from the out of play area and deal damage with it as well.
I mean,
It's a little surprise play, which is nice.
super janky play.
Are you ever going to use it? No.
Yeah.
But does it work?
Whoa.
Yes.
Maybe one of us will
believe
try
that's
it.
Some of us will try.
what the community
Look at
in
you,
whole
Alex.
has decided at the moment anyway, which I
Yeah.
thought was kind of interesting.
Well, I mean, if you do something silly with 3 wide and lots of focus, you could, even if your opponent takes your battlefield, you new orders it out of play and you start ascension gunning it. What's your opponent going to do? They can't get rid of the damage. Eventually, one of their characters is going to die from the ascension guns. You can get 2 out of there, throw in some cunnings.
I mean, it would be hilarious.
Theoretically, you could get 4 on there around. That would be really hilarious. Oh, God. I want to see if I can do
Jabba
that.
and your ascension gun, right?
I'm calling out Dave in our meta for that one. I want to see it. See it happen.
Do you want to go on to discard to reroll, Corey?
Sure. So, just a little change to the discard rule here. When you're discarding to reroll, you can choose any number of dice, which of course now includes the number 0. So I'm thinking this was just for the loop, the Sabine loop. So
You could pass for it, but I don't know why you just discard. I think it's also great against Unkar. When Unkar's sitting across from you, he's about
True.
to plot you, and you have a single reversal sitting in hand, and you have no more cards out. And
Yeah.
you're like, well, I could claim, but he's going to take my reversal. I'm just going to toss for no reroll.
Save one on my
so like yeah,
Exactly.
Fair enough.
mind probe. So yeah, there's a few places you could use that.
It's more than just running interference, which is the main discussion I've been seeing online.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you can get rid of. Kylo, exactly. Kylo's sitting there. He's like, I'm going to special you. And you're like, well, I have a 2 in my hand. Go fish.
Yep. Let's get rid of it.
Yeah.
Like it.
So
So it's good.
Yep.
Seems fine to me.
I think it's a good change. I know I misplayed it in the past. I thought you could discard 0, but no, it is more than 1.
And it's an easy way to get for that one combo to get around, right?
Exactly.
Instead of like, oh, we're gonna change the card text on this thing. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So,
So
running interference still a great card.
Yep. Very useful.
Sean, do you want to go for the next one?
Nope.
Okay.
All right. So on page 16, damage changed from when a player distributes damage as they wish. Players cannot deal excess damage above their health to their characters. What's this for?
To continue on with that, it was changed from that to when a player distributes damage as they wish. The players assign their characters the amount of damage they will be dealt, and then it's done simultaneously. You cannot exceed the health, so you can't be like, oh, I'm planetary uprising damage they dealt. Well, I have Base sitting, or I have like Kylo sitting here with 1 health. I'm just gonna put all 4 on him. No, you can only put 1 on him. If he has a shield, then you can put 2 on him. And then it's dealt simultaneously. So things like Dooku, where you'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna pitch. No,
Yeah.
it's you pitch 1.
or Force Illusion, stuff like that. right?
Exactly. So it clears things up with things like Force Illusion shields, Dooku, personal shield, or not personal shield, armor plating, any card that gives you more health or a workaround around damage. I think it's a great change, and it just clarifies things that we already kind of played that way before.
Yeah, I think that was the intention, right? This
Yep.
is just kind of like, this is actually how it works or how we wanted it to work.
Yeah.
So
you can't just rule lowers it around like, well, I'm only dealing 1 damage, so I'm dealing 4 instances of 1 damage, and then it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So, on to redeploy. So change from this keyword only appears on upgrades after the attached character is defeated. Its controller may move this upgrade to any of the other characters. The upgrade die moves to the new character die, even if it was in the die pool. To now it is, before this upgrade would be discarded by its character being defeated. You may instead move it to one of your characters. The upgrade die moves to the new character, even if it was in the die pool. The biggest change for this is before the upgrade would be discarded by the character being defeated compared to after the attached character is defeated. I don't know what instance this fixes. Second chance? I don't know.
I heard people debating Grievous.
Grievous?
I-
Well, even both are before. So what's that
Battlefield?
fix?
is that Battlefield
Yeah.
maybe? I don't know.
It's going to be something that we'll probably have to look up on Reddit or Facebook and see what's the huge change for that. But
I think Grievous will be back, so I think it might be worth a...
I was playing it tonight. I stole a bowcaster and a race staff. Feels pretty good.
Wait, was that against the guy that didn't go for Grievous?
No, I stole a race staff from his son, and I stole a bowcaster from this guy because he played it on a Wookiee right before I killed it. He was like, "Oh, yeah, that's right,
You
Grievous."
forgot, did you?
Yeah. I forgot.
But how'd that rest of that game go?
He would. Alrighty.
Double cross.
Some more errata changes. So another big one is it's a trap and heated battle.
It's a turret.
Oh, it's a trap.
It's a trap. No longer has ambush.
Yeah, but that's good.
So get your white out or a permanent marker and just scratch out that ambush.
And it's only 2 dice.
And it's only 2 dice.
But why is that good, Corey? Let's be
Well,
honest.
the only silver lining here is that red heroes, can hope to maybe get some more powerful cards. Because it's a trap being, like, let's be honest, is bonkers broken, right?
Yeah.
When you get off It's a Trap, that's usually like a game changer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully it was probably holding them back from creating really good red cards.
Is it playable now?
I think it's still playable because
$1 for
$1
2 dice.
for 2 dice.
Realistically, if you have swiftness, throw out $2 for 2 dice.
It's-
You're laughing.
It's not horrible.
But I mean,
What if it had been 2 dice and ambush? Is it still broken?
It's still pretty
It's still
powerful.
powerful for $1.
ambush would have been
Yeah.
nice.
I played a lot of base snap in the Spirit of Rebellion meta, and it felt really dirty being able to. Well, I'm super behind, but now I'm dealing 1, 2, 5, 6, 7 damage base with just the character dice, which was I was usually playing. Maybe I get one more from promotion or DH17, but for the most part, it was like this was the turnaround card. And against certain decks that were 3 wide, like you played a 3 wide deck with Poe, Rebel Trooper, and Rebel Commando.
The pilot.
Oh, rookie pilot, yeah. And I re-rolled a die. I completely forgot It's a Trap existed because it was now Empire at War. And suddenly one of my characters just died. And I had kind of no control over it, which feels bad.
You can't play around it, right? Like, what are you going to do? Oh, I'm just not going to roll in my character with
It's
the
a
range
trap lets
side?
you switch to any face, right?
Anything.
So-
As long as your opponent's
Yeah.
showing that face.
You
Right.
just have to show it.
So
Right.
So you guys build creative decks. I know you do. You guys don't go to the internet to sit down. I know, Corey, you've said you like to just flip through the binder at the table here and do it old-fashioned wise. Does it get play? Maybe for $2 now or 2 shields?
Right. Like, it's still a
Has it changed? Has the card changed? Maybe it's not a damage card anymore.
right.
I don't know.
It's-
I think you brought it up the other day. A change that would have been amazing is if they just turned it so that you can't turn to damage sides. You could leave it the way it was.
It would have made it a bit more interesting.
And then now you
but-
can do it to resources or shields or fucking
Specials.
specials.
Yeah.
Like, I
There's-
mean,
there's a lot of ways they could have went with
it could have been madness, but I mean, I think that would. I mean, he's saying it's a trap, but was he ever trapping someone?
That's kind of my problem with the card the whole time. It wasn't
It
any
needed
heroes
that.
trapping anybody.
Sure, when he yelled it, he wasn't like, "Ha, I got you.
We got him.
We got him, boys."
Got him. I think it's still worth it at $1. Being able to say swing for 4 to 6 damage, it's surprise as well. And if your opponent if you play it at the right time and your opponent has no money or very few cards in hand, you can pretty much guarantee that they're not going to be able to mitigate that. You're sitting on 2 blanks.
Yep.
They re-roll their last die and they hit a 1 gun, and you're like, "Okay, it's a trap. I'm going to switch to 4 damage," and they're sitting there like, crap, I can't play anything. Well, I guess I'll deal my 1 and you'll take the 4. It's a good card, but it's a very niche card. There are now cards that are in competition with it. It's no longer, I'm playing red hero, okay, 2 It's a Traps, and let's fill the other 28 cards.
So
Maybe
true.
it's a one-off now.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm going off script here, but it sounds like you still could play that, right? So
I think so,
What
yeah.
the fuck with Heat of Battle?
Okay, heat of battle.
Like, we're talking about that now.
So
like,
battle might as well be this coaster for my drink.
because now if you compare the two, just go ahead. It's like, oh, It's a Trap's amazing.
Even
So you look at It's a Trap, which is a 1 cost. It affects your red dice, and that's a key thing. It's your red dice. Compared to Heat of Battle, which flips 2 of your opponent's dice of any color to sides of showing damage, and then flips 2 of your dice to sides showing damage, but it costs $2.
Yeah, $2. $2.
Right.
So now if you want to cheat it out, you're gonna have to pay more
Yeah.
to do something else to get it out, or have I don't know, 4 speed or something.
Yeah.
And even still, then just spending fucking $2 to switch 2 dice. It's just not worth it.
Yeah, and
Who was it a non-player experience for?
I think the new
Okay.
people.
So it was
younglings.
So one of the big things was
I hated it.
a lot of people would be like, if they didn't expect it and they're playing against a red character deck. And I did this to somebody, and I feel kind of bad for it. But hey, it won me a game,
doesn't
and
fucking feel bad.
yeah, I don't feel bad at all.
This guy's a piece of garbage.
I had
Those
like
games.
3 or 4 dice and $2, and I'm like, hey. And my opponent's like, I'm going to pass. I'm like, okay, I'm going to delay by playing the 0-cost support card. He's like, I'm just going to claim. I'm like, okay, heat a battle, switch 7 damage, kill a character. And they didn't see it coming. One thing you can do, though, in that situation, if my opponent's waiting for like a heat a battle, they see $2, and they see me go, pass, and I'm waiting for them to claim, they can just go, pass, round ends.
Yeah, I think it's just the people that don't know about it.
So it's a new player,
bad experience.
Yeah. But I mean, you guys have both been hit by it multiple times from me.
Sure.
Was it unfair?
When I saw that it was my own fault for not disrupting the resource when I was showing a disrupt. I thought you would just claim because you're showing like garbage. I should have disrupted. I should have passed. I should have done something to see what you did, especially when you're sitting on $2 and a handful of cards.
You can play around it, right?
Right, and I think that's my biggest argument with it. It's $2.
Yeah.
It's not cheap to pull off. I mean, and I've been running it in CAD Phasma, and it's still in my CAD. Well, actually, I've switched it out in CAD Sienna down to we have them now because of the nerf. But you also have to time it right.
Yep.
You want to play it. I read that it was unfun for people because you could play it when they had no dice to flip.
Yep.
But that's just play on your end and good play on my end, in my opinion.
Another thing to think about is, especially with Cat Phasma, going back to it, you play a whole, like you're sitting on, say, it's near the end of the game. You're sitting on 3 guns with CAD. You override one of the guns, you roll them in. You hit 5 dice. Doesn't matter what you hit. We have them now. Flip all of them to max damage. You've won the game. I feel like it's a nerf to that deck as well, but it also switches things like, okay, we're getting close to the end of the game. We both have like 1 or 2 characters left. You rolling. It's now forcing me to roll in a character when I don't want to. I want to play an upgrade on them, but now I'm forced to just to stop a heat of battle, which is not a very fun experience. I understand why they got rid of it, but now you might as well take all your heat of battles, throw them in the paper shredder. Yeah.
Do you think
they'll never see play?
Do you think it took a hard hit because of It's a Trap? Like, I feel like they're similar.
I mean, they're definitely similar.
They just decided that any amount of dice is maybe a little too powerful.
Without the ambush action on it and $2 though, I really did feel it was a really strong card, but really fair.
Yeah.
You had to be careful. I flipped my dice to all 2+, and Corey wipes them off the table for $1.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
what's the card?
Defensive position.
I don't play a lot of hero stuff, so, right?
But there's a lot of board wipe cards, right? But they've been out of the meta since Awakenings when we were playing Dodge for Django.
So is a non-player experience created when people don't want to play the cards?
So
I think it's again more for the new players and the casual players.
Yeah.
For the competitive guys that that memorize like 400 out of like the 600 cards that are in the game right now, and you see it in your meta, you're going to play around it. But if you're a new guy, you walk up to the store, it's your first time playing, and you get heated battled, and you lose both your characters, it's not a fun experience, and you're probably not going to play again. Or if you're at a tournament, you don't play super competitively, you play here and now, and someone just throws in one of them, it doesn't feel fun, right? And when at the end of the day, when you're rolling dice, you're having a good laugh with your buddies, even if it's just a casual Friday, it doesn't feel good to just be like, oh, that was damage I couldn't like I didn't have a chance to mitigate because I decided to claim, or I have no money and no removal cards left in hand, so that's 7 damage coming towards me and I can't stop it. I understand the reason why, but I don't like the change.
They went too far with that one for sure.
That one was.
If it was free because it has such a huge drawback, or even $1, I think I would see play because it's any color dice. You can throw it in mixed dice.
Yeah, 1, sure, or ambush with 2, sure.
But I guess they don't want to change the cost of event cards, which makes sense.
We haven't seen that yet.
Speaking of changing the cost of event cards, Imperial Inspection, a lot of people are expecting it to cost money. It was super unfair, especially in the old Fun Car deck, Trooper, FN, Elite Unkar, where you just drop 2 of them, and now your opponent can't play 2-cost weapons.
Do you have a 2-cost? Do you like that 2-cost? Because you're not going to see play. And I know in our meta we saw it quite often, and it took away a lot of decks. Corey was playing a Phasma deck that he really liked. He likes Phasma. And he went back to Heroes with his tail between his legs because he couldn't get anything fucking out. I mean, you can rocket launcher out once in a while, but It's so oppressive, and with a guy like Unkar rolling, he's gonna hit it.
He's gonna hit it with 2 dice.
Gonna hit it.
Well, not only that, but at 0 cost and a passive ability.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
it should have cost an action.
They did correct it, sort of, with Rend. That was nice to add.
Yeah.
When it came out, I had it in every one of my decks for that one reason. But now it's coming out.
Yeah.
It's a perfect change.
Yep.
I think it's still a strong card.
It's still a really strong card. A lot of people saying, "Oh, I'm just gonna put Imperial Inspection in the binder." It's really strong removal.
I don't know why though. It's free. It's still free.
It's free. It's removal, and it's costing your opponent money.
Yeah. And all you have to do is roll.
And action economy.
You don't have to activate.
You played out that card too, and now you're going to have to play it again, not only
Right.
and pay for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Even if you overwrite, you're losing action and or money.
Yeah, the 2-cost LL30 that you just played, you're gonna have to pay another $2
Yeah.
if you want to play, and you're losing the die for that, right?
That's awesome for 0.
For 0.
Yeah, it's fine. So keep that in mind, because
it's-
everyone's crying that it's
not going to be in every
binder.
single red villain deck because you need to hit a disrupt for it, but it's still really good.
And it's still passive. It's
free.
So it doesn't cost you an action.
Yeah.
You still get to roll in and do your shenanigans and take its passive effect.
Exactly.
So we all
Great
agree,
card still.
We all agree that free is good.
Free is good.
is good.
Are you telling me you can't afford free stuff?
Yeah,
It's great. People that are throwing, I think, are overreacting. It's a knee-jerk reaction to a
Yeah.
nerf.
It's a great change.
You still have
great.
salvage stand, so fuck off. Just saying.
Okay, so hypothetically, if Vibro Knife didn't do unblockable damage, would you still play it?
Not a chance.
Not anymore. I would have in the last 2 sets for sure.
It's still a decent die though.
But the problem is it without that ability? Is it better than some of like the Shotos of the world? Like, 'cause you know what
Right.
Shoto's going to do? Is it better than the new
Right.
Crossguard?
Yeah.
I think it's on par with them, but it needed that.
To be perfectly clear, Vibro Knife still does unblockable damage, but now it just deals its own
attached to
die
it.
or the one it's attached to, which comes up to an interesting conversation. If you say for example, if you're crazy enough and you play a lightsaber pike and you get that +4 for $1, if I use it on the Vibro Knife, is it now 5 unblockable or 1
I say
unblockable?
it is.
I believe that's what they were going with. Although
The writing of it is kind of
The writing of it is weird, and I can't. I spent an hour today, like going over the rules reference, trying to find anything with modified dice, and it says, "Well, you modify this die," and it says when this die is resolved. So it's like if you're modifying this die to be a 5 now, it's technically a 5 die. Is that 5 I feel rules as intended. It's supposed to be, well, if you modify it, it's unblockable, or if it modifies something else, it's unblockable.
otherwise it's a 1 in 6 chance.
I feel like as long as it's dishing out the damage is part of a single
long as it's
die
attached.
or a group of
Right.
die.
Yeah.
If it's associated with the damage being handed out at that moment, it's unblockable.
like
But if I have a
yeah.
1 and a 2, just
Then no.
on base, and
Because
then
the way
it's one
I
unblockable.
read the
Just one
rules,
unblockable. Yeah.
a black die it's modifying the value of the black die.
Yeah.
Right.
Black
Right, you can't resolve a modified die on its own. So your plus or your black 1 on your Vibro Knife is now
Well, black 1.
3 or 4 with a modifier.
It just feels bad that they, classic FFG missed a couple words here and there. And now
English
they're-
language and rules lawyers, I think, looking for that edge, right? Everyone always wants the edge.
Exactly. So in that, say, lightsaber pike example, there's going to be guys fighting, sitting across from you, fighting for it's only 1 unblockable, not 5 unblockable.
Yeah.
There are going to be people that will do that. I believe rules intended it's supposed to be in that
I'm
example 5
sure
unblockable.
someone will send an email.
Yeah, someone will send an email to whoever
Not
is the
Lucas.
head. Yeah, because
Not
Jeremy.
Lucas
Lucas.
is
It's Jeremy now. I
It's
think.
Jeremy.
Jeremy.
So they'll send an email to Jeremy and
So
Jeremy.
Jeremy, I know you're not listening to this. If you could send us an email, that'd be great.
YYCdestiny@gmail.com.
Oh man, we got.
But
an
yeah,
email
I mean,
too?
if it works the way that everyone online's saying it, like that would, they might as well just take unblockable off then, because it's terrible.
yeah, it's a 1 in 6 chance it may be doing it. No,
Yeah.
and for the record, in our meta, we didn't really have a problem with Vibro Knife here.
Yeah, there was a lot of shields flying around. and
There's a ton of people.
even if there was, actually, the shields weren't uncommon, but when they were played, it was to an obscene amount.
yeah,
Or it was just there was no unblockable, or sorry, no shields or no armor plating, so it was fine. I think it's fine the way it is now.
It's just more of a oh, I'm playing melee, I'll throw it in. It's not that
The
anymore.
worst thing about the old Vibro Knife, it was showing a blank and
Yeah.
you had to remove it.
That was dumb.
Yeah.
It was stupid.
I think the fact that just being in the pool, giving you rest of your
Yeah.
dice unblockable damage was a stupid decision.
You're like, well, I have 3 shields and 2 health, and he's showing 5 damage. Or, no, sorry, 3 damage. He's going to kill me. I have to remove Vibro Knife even though it's showing a blank.
Yeah.
Just so he doesn't kill me. Because then he could just flip some other dice and kill me. It was weird. I don't really like it.
Yeah.
But
I foresee people missing it in the new meta coming up if shields get played. And I know in our meta, especially tonight, there was another guy that normally doesn't. He brought it in, and it's like, oh, that would have been nice to actually have. So I see there's people there's people that have been crying about Vibro Knife needing to be deleted. I think you're gonna be eating your words. You're gonna wish it was back.
yeah, and it made me. I walked over and I saw that deck tonight. I'm like, wow, I really wish I was playing yellow and have a Vibro Axe.
Well, did you see
But
mine?
I didn't
Did
get
you
to
see
play
mine?
this, so I'm happy.
We counted the amount of shield hate I built in my jank deck. I had 15.
We always sit
cards.
around and talk after games, right? And I know I'm a 1%er on this one when I say that
He's rich. He's rich.
that Vibro Knife was
1%.
needed. Corey played
That-
shields from the day I started this game and met you guys, and he makes them gross.
You don't want to live in a world.
And I've seen other content creators when they've built a shield deck, they've proven like you can do 30, 40 damage to a character and not kill it.
Yeah.
Right.
And
It
that's
can
where
get
shields
gross.
are going to go, I think, now.
There's a slippery slope there, right?
Yeah.
You don't want shields to be better than damage.
Yeah.
Yep. It's like the old second chance, right? When
Loop.
Han or Jin, for example, is looping second chance 6 times, it's starting to become not a negative play experience.
Who has fun with that? If you get it set up the right way, who had fun with that? No one did.
I mean,
I did.
the guy not dying's having a pretty
Yeah,
good
I was
time.
having a blast, but sitting across from it, you want to choke that guy.
Yeah, you want to fucking just punch him in the
It's
throat.
terrible. It's not fun. I mean, whatever. It is what it is.
It is what
I
it
mean,
is.
there is shield hate out there, and I'm bringing it.
Yep.
15
Yeah,
out of 30
I
cards,
think,
boys.
I think that's the difference between
yeah.
good metas and bad metas, right? Like when you had 9s out there, what was the counter to 9s? Oh,
9s.
9s.
Yeah.
So
Bring
what's the
9s.
counter to shields? Well,
More shields.
here's these 10, 12 cards you can bring.
More shields and milk.
Let's quickly move on to FN, seeing as we're talking about them, and the redeploy changes. So, huge changes with that. You can only, not redeploy, sorry, overriding
The
those.
override. Yeah.
You can
Or
only
replacing, I believe,
replace. Sorry,
that
yeah,
FFG wants to call
that's
it.
the replace. They even added a new definition into
Yeah.
the rules reference called replace. For you can only replace a weapon once per round. So if you had a hold up blaster with FM, you could do theoretically on round 1, hold up blaster, roll on the die, hold up blaster, roll on the die, vibro knife, roll on the die, vibro knife, roll on the die, vibro knucklers. It was a little bit silly. Now you can't do that. You can go hold up blaster, and I'm
Now
done.
I gotta pay.
Yep.
Right.
Now I have to pay for my weapons. So you could go hold up blaster for 2, hold up blaster for 2, and then override one of those for a vibro knucklers, and that's it. You can't, but that's costing you a lot of money. You need to have a
Right.
huge bank saved, and in our Calgary meta of fair trade, that's not going to feel great.
No.
If you're seeing your opponent playing FN, he's sitting on $5, you know something's coming.
I like this change.
I am a huge fan of this change. It turned FN from, okay, he's got a point increase, he can still do a lot of damage with, say, Elite Kylo, to, well, now you can't do the boundless play, you can't do the ambush overriding plays, you can't do all this silly shenanigans.
I still think he's got a couple partners, got a couple dance partners. He's gonna be good.
Definitely has one or few, but
I mean, realistically, go ahead and throw. If you happen to have 2 rocket launchers and
He's
you're
still
overriding
good.
it, you've got
Yeah.
the money.
He's still good. You get to roll and resolve a die once for free,
bonkers.
uninterruptible.
but now
Roll
it's,
that rocket launcher in. If you can pay for it, boom, 3.
That's what I mean.
exactly. He's still really good. It's just now people are going to go back to playing, I'm just going to play FN Trooper E-Ballad to now, well, I can, but it's not as great as it could have been with this new replace rule.
Yeah.
One thing of note with the replace rule, if you're sitting on 3 weapons, you can, instead of replacing a weapon, you can remove a weapon and then play a one. So if you have, say, a Hold Up Blaster, LL30, and you already replace one of those weapons during that round, you can now remove one of them and play a different weapon.
Makes sense.
Paying its full cost.
Yeah, paying its full cost.
The other part I liked about it is, and I know most people probably think Ray wasn't a thing. Ray was a thing.
Yeah. Nah.
And Corey would abuse that shit.
There-
And in a positive way, Corey would abuse that shit.
Is
And
it
you'd be
positive?
sitting there, and it kind of went away, I feel like, all that
Yeah.
overriding on Ray getting extra actions, but you were still using it. And I do feel like that was a non-player experience,
totally.
a negative player experience, sorry.
Definitely.
You had 3-4 actions potentially sometimes, and it limits them to make ambush weapons. Then, how many times are you going to overwrite Ray? 3-4 times maybe as the weapons get better.
Force speed, get a vibro. Okay.
Not even just ignoring ambush weapons on Ray. There'd be games where, Ray's the last character. I've got a few weapons on her already. Oh, I've got 2 mind probes in my hand. Overwrite, roll her in, and all of a sudden Ray goes from being kind of scary to like, oh shit, she's got double mind probe.
And you'd
Oh,
even
wow,
get a
that's double
reroll in
special.
there sometimes, right? Because
Right.
you had so many actions banked.
So
Or even the most grievous example. You have a force speed and a vibro knife, and you're sitting on a ton of money because you're Corey. You go, hold out blaster, mind probe, roll in, resolve force speed special, take 2 actions, flip one of these to a mind probe, and hit for 5.
You want to talk about negative player experience? When I was brand new and I came out to my first weekend and I played Corey in my second or third round, I'll be honest, I just sat across from Corey and just went, I hope he's playing honest because I have no idea what's going on at this point. Because you were playing
what was
Ray
I
Poe,
playing? Oh.
and you're like, and I have 3 actions now, and I'm like, okay,
Sure, I believe you.
yeah, I believe you. Luckily, you're an honest engine kind of guy, but yeah.
I'm sorry, Mitch. That was the meta back then, though, unfortunately.
When he sees vibro knife.
Unfortunately. But yeah, I think that's a great change.
Yep, it's a really nice change to a combination, and it future proofs cards.
Yep.
Which is really nice. We'll go over some of the FAQ'd cards, so just questions about cards. So first thing, Destiny and Premonitions from Spirit of Rebellion. Corey, these are hero cards, if I'm
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
What are they?
Premonitions is both, but I know what the Destiny change is here. So there was just some confusion about Destiny stacking with other before effects, such as it binds all things. So it doesn't work with that stuff. So you can't like tap it binds all things, Destiny for 3, and then play like a 4 cost.
Yeah.
Destiny's all by itself. It's all or nothing. You can't kind of stack it on those other cards like Reaping the Crystal and all that stuff.
Does it work with Padawan?
I believe, because I don't think she's a before ability.
Yeah, I think it's when you play the first weapon on this character.
Right.
Premonitions. If there's a Premonitions is the one that you set aside a card, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So pretty much, if you have a Force Lightning under there and you're running, say, Baze, he can't just like Baze, Ray, whatever, and you steal your opponent's Force Lightning. He can't play it on Baze. It has to go on Ray. In that example.
You have to be able to legally play it.
Right.
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense. I mean, was anyone even playing this card?
I don't know who was playing this card, and I'd like to meet them if
You
they
couldn't
were.
rise again, Jin.
Right.
Can't
Should
rise
be
again, Jim.
hilarious.
That'd be absolutely. Oh man, I really want that now.
How are we doing on time there, boys?
How are we doing on time?
Coming up on an hour.
Coming up
Okay.
on an hour. So
I
we'll just
say
finish.
we should maybe do the fun stuff. Let's
Okay.
show these guys some. Well, they've already seen it, I'm sure, but
Yeah, pretty much. It's just more Empire FAQ. You can go look at it
we
yourself.
could read it for you. But some of us
Biggest
can't
ones
read.
is Mace Windu Shield to not affect remaining health. Coercion
Makes
is pretty
sense.
much if you can't play the card, you can't play the card. Do look at the rules about then triggers. So take a look at
Coercion
it.
sucks, by the way, and they should just
Coercion's-
rip up that card and get rid of it.
Yeah, coercion's not a.
I
fun-
don't feel like the intent of the person who invented that card, like it's being played at all like that person sat down and intended.
Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah,
It's a
I've played it. I don't
it's a
like
wordy
playing
one.
it.
That card is
Yeah.
bullshit.
It
That's
is-
how I feel.
It's-
Bullshit.
It has caused so many arguments at our stores playing around with it, people playing it, and
Just ignore those.
it's not a fun one.
I understand how it works, but it is a stupid card.
Yeah.
You should have to be able to fulfill the action and not
Right.
basically whiff. For
Yeah.
lack of a
Oh, I
better
guess
term.
I'll play Heat of Battle with no dice in the pool.
Right,
Like, fizzling cards just feels kind of dumb.
fizzling cards is stupid. It's anti-thematic. It's just everything against the game.
Especially they look at your hand, they just choose the most expensive card that
Yeah.
you could
And if you can
theoretically
pay
play.
for it, you're out the money.
Yeah,
Like,
and that
Yeah.
screws you for the whole round.
how is that thematic at all with that design? So.
The intent was there, though.
The
cool.
intent is amazing.
Yeah.
I like if the card was played. I think how we all think it should be played is a great card.
Like,
it's a bonkers
When you have
good
to
card.
electroshock your own
mean,
die, like
right?
that'd be hilarious.
Corey, how excited were
Absolutely.
you? How excited were you when you originally saw it? You're like, holy shit.
Well, until I saw the villain.
As a
That's a perfect case of rules
still like
lawyering, taking the fun out of the game
Yeah.
and
But-
ruining something.
But yeah.
Yeah. I think it would have been hilarious if it like as intended, like, oh, yeah, you're just gonna boundless with 5 cards in hand, ruin an FN, or
Yeah.
oh yeah, price of failure, Night Sister at full health, or just something silly like that, right?
I'm probably never taking a high-end tournament, but if that card was the difference between winning and losing it, I'd lose. Because that card is bullshit, and I'll never add it in my deck.
You heard it here first.
So we're just gonna move swiftly along for the sake of time. We don't want to take up all your guys' time for listening. If you've actually managed to get this far, I'm proud of you.
oh, it's fine. We're entertaining.
So we're gonna go over the new spoiler cards. So if you don't want any cards spoiled, this is for the
Tough.
new
We're
Legacy
spoiling
starter
anyways.
set.
I
Turn
don't
it off
care.
now if you don't want to listen to the spoilers, because that's all we're gonna go.
You've
with
probably
tonight.
gone to
So-
work by now, so just pause and listen to us
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
way home for the second part.
Exactly. So,
So,
let's go with the villain stuff first.
Sure.
I really don't like you, Corey.
I
Oh,
love
that's
it.
fine.
Okay,
Talk
so
about some stuff.
you guys are villain players. I'm also a villain player, but
Okay.
you guys play a lot more villains than I do. Please go over the top 2 cards there.
All right. Well, the top 2 cards here, the Slave 1. It's new. It's new and improved. It costs less. It's 3 cost. We've got a 2 damage side. We've got the
2
new.
range.
Sorry.
2 range side.
Yeah. Sorry. 2 range side. Then we've got the 2
Indirect.
indirect side. I'm just saying, you're gonna fucking correct me. You correct all of them. It's got the 3 for 1
3 indirect. for one.
indirect,
Yep.
and then we've got 1 shield, $1.
Resource.
Oh, for fuck's sakes! This fucking, I'm never,
You're gonna get hit.
he had half a cider, and this is how giggly he is. And then a power action, which I really like. Reroll 1 of your yellow dice. Then you may remove an opponent's dice showing the value equal to the value showing on the die that you just rerolled.
Sounds awesome.
Sounds awesome. If you like yellow, I really like yellow. I think for a 3 cost, it's great. Indirect damage, I think it's too soon to say it sucks. A lot of people do. We don't know enough of the stuff
I'm not
that's coming
sure
out.
yet.
It's there's going to be something there. It's going to be.
There's not enough cards leaked to know if indirect
Yeah,
damage is gonna be there. Or
It's
not.
too soon to say. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like it, but we don't know what else is coming. So
Until we see that event suite, even
honestly, for a 3 cost Slave 1, I really like it. I think it's cool. It's really cool. So I mean, I got nothing more to say really for myself.
It's a
but
cheaper Slave 1 and arguably just as good, if not better.
it's got different tricks. It's fun. It's a fun card.
Corey just pulled up the old Slave 1. It is $4. It is
It's amazing
2 range,
as well.
3 range, 4 range for $1, $1 in the special, which is force an opponent to deal damage to their characters equal to the number of dice in their pool, distributed as they wish. So it's really nice late game. You roll it in and slamming them for 4 or 5 damage they wish. It's really nasty.
I think the new Slave 1's a bit better.
It's cheaper, and people love cheaper stuff.
Cheaper and the power action, free reroll,
Free reroll
and removal.
could potentially
Could
remove
be.
dice.
I have really mixed feelings on it. I love the 3 cost. 3 is a sweet point.
Yeah.
4 feels expensive.
4 is
Three's very affordable right now. It's easy to put out 3 cost stuff. I feel like if you're playing your hands
Can
right,
you pull up
if
house
you're building your decks correctly. I definitely look at that cost curve when I build my deck, and if I don't like it, I go back to the table and redraw it again with some different cards to maintain that.
Just think of the fun, though. The fact that if you even had to re-roll that slave one, if you had the miss, I mean, that power action, I just love it. It's got a 2, a 2, a 3, a 1, and a 1.
Yeah.
And you can remove it. And God help you if you happen to roll a miss.
I mean,
you can remove another miss.
The
if you
only
have
thing,
to.
I don't know, the 2 indirects, well, that's 1 and 1 if there's multiple characters. It's kind
Doesn't
of
matter.
weak.
Just to point out,
sure.
Slave 1, the power action, Houndstooth.
Yeah.
Hit that, like, it has a 4, a 2, a 3, and then 2 1s and a blank, but that's a 50% chance to hit 2 or more.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah,
Nothing feels better than having original Slave 1 out, though, and getting that special mid-game
That's tough.
before your
That
opponent has rolled in.
It's definitely a lot more swingy, for sure.
Mid-game, guy's got 2-3 upgrades on his character. It's an elite character, and now he's going to roll in 4 to 5 dice, and the specials there. Like you almost don't want to roll in. So.
But then you're playing against one of us who has, what's that red card cost 2? Resolve one of your opponent's dice that's not showing down.
Sensor
I know how that
placement?
feels when your ATST gets taken down by that card. Yeah, it hurts. It hurts, Alex.
All right.
I just want to rub salt in that.
Wrist rockets.
All right.
Sean's
All right.
excited for wrist.
Listen.
He wants to wrist rocket people in the face across the whole table.
Watch out for those
He's gonna need a Gatorade. There's gonna be so many wrist rockets.
Oh, God.
I just love saying wrist rocket.
Right? How can you not smile?
I know, it's amazing.
I just think back to the old Battlefront 2. Watch out for those wrist rockets.
Awesome card. Incredibly excited for wrist rockets.
it's gonna
How
be
can
fun.
you not be? 3 cost. It has a 2 range side, 4 indirect damage for $1. I mean, I see that as even in your 3-4 character decks, you're probably wiping out 1 or 2 characters fairly quick. I almost feel like that's 2 times 2 damage on average.
Sure.
You can't go wrong with that for $1, right?
You got your
a discard. I don't know where this fits in discard. Like, I don't know that the discard side will be all that valuable to you.
Could've been a
I
shield.
take it quite often, actually, but it's definitely not going to help you in any kind of mill situation. It gets a $1 side. It's special, however. Deal 2 damage to a character. You may spend 1 resource to deal 2 damage to it, not to the character. It's kind of worded weird.
Yeah, I feel like if they said another, then you couldn't do. Well, you have 1 character.
Yeah.
I can't do 4.
They did seek put on the same.
Right.
There is a period in there, so it is. You deal 2 damage to a character, then you may pay $1, deal another 2 damage, but it's not to a different character. It's another 2 damage to a character. I feel like they should have done. You may spend $1 to deal another 2 damage to a character.
So
Or to any
if essentially you got a 50% chance of hitting damage.
Yep. Which,
4 and like
Pretty solid.
33% chance at 4 damage.
so the only thing you're looking at is mixed, right?
And-
you got special, indirect, and ranged.
And the price of it, let's be honest, 3 is kind of pricey.
3, no
It is.
redeploy, and it's yellow character only.
Yeah.
That's where I draw the. I think it's a nice card,
Yeah.
but it's not going to see play in any deck
No.
I play.
No, it's fun, and
It's
I
fun.
like it, and I want to shoot wrist rockets. Look at the picture; it's a power fucking fist. It's great.
I'll have 2 I'm really excited for Boba Fett, and I know
He loves Boba Fett.
I do.
Don't
gonna be your downfall,
It doesn't
Mitch.
matter. Boba Fett can have no dice, and Mitch is like, I'm fucking playing.
The internet says he sucks. I'm gonna make Boba Fett great again.
So how angry were you? Like, were you ready to like beating Sean's knees at the Art of War event when he won the match? Just like in the parking lot, grabbed the bat.
No, because at least it was someone within the group. So
Someone that plays
someone who's going to
Bosk.
take care of it and appreciate what it is, and it just didn't go home to somebody's basement and sit down there. He brings it to all
That's
the
where it would have
events.
sat in my.
Right? And so-
You wouldn't have touched it.
No.
No, like
There's
it.
probably a few players that have been like, "Oh, hey, did you bring the Pokemon? Oh yeah, I forgot it." So
Get
let's go over.
going.
Yeah, let's go for the locked and loaded and crash landing.
Locked and loaded. I'm going to go twice, and then you can go again.
I was gonna give it to
Locked and
those
loaded
guys.
is a
I'm not doing
1 cost
this one.
red. Spot a red character to turn up 2 of your dice sides showing indirect damage.
It is a neutral red card.
baby.
It's $1. It's spot a red. I mean, it's essentially a $1 focus. And when the theme of the city is a lot of indirect damage, we're going to see more indirect damage cards.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's what makes indirect good.
It's a trap almost all over
right.
again.
Yeah.
It's better than it's a trap.
I think in order to really give it its due service, we have to see how good indirect damage is.
We have to see how many indirect damage cards there are. As
I
well.
mean,
Yeah.
just from a hero's point of view, look at the bomber that was spoiled that has 3 indirect, 6 indirect for 1.
Yeah.
And you could have wedge in there too. Like, you're paying 1 to focus 2 dice, basically, which is more powerful than any other. I don't know what you'd call it. Any other like focus type of card, right? Like use the force only does 1 die for 1. This one you're doing 2 for 1.
Okay.
With looking at the dice for both sides so far that have been spoiled, they all have indirect damage.
Right. We're probably going to see a lot of it.
Are you going to build a deck and an indirect damage deck?
100%.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
I think so.
That's gonna be fun. You're gonna have a blast making your opponent kill themselves.
Essentially an AOE deck, right?
Right.
Oh, I can't wait to play like Jin with someone with indirect damage and be like reversal, double cross, indirect damage. Stop hitting yourself.
Stop hitting yourself.
I would say if that's something you guys are excited for, then I think that card's bonkers good for $1.
Yep.
And more importantly,
why wouldn't you be excited for it?
more importantly, the art.
Yes.
That gun, it could be bigger. It could be bigger.
I love it. I think it's really.
I think it's just your
Yeah.
perspective. It's really a tiny gun. The camera's just really close.
Or
to
maybe
it.
she's just really tiny. She's
Maybe
like
she's
3'2".
Yeah.
But
She's not struggling though.
Yeah, she's not struggling. Man, when I first saw Crash Landing, I was at work. I'm like, they put a pinup girl in Destiny?
That's kind of sexy. I never noticed
Crash
that.
Landing? What is Crash Landing, Sean?
Oh, I'm not doing it. I'm leaving it for these fuckers. They can start talking now.
Crash Landing,
See?
it's a red event, it's neutral, it's 0, and it's remove a die showing damage, indirect, ranged, or melee, and then deal indirect damage to yourself equal to the value showing on that die. I don't know why you would remove an indirect damage die. If you're just going to deal it to yourself, but your opponent's sitting on that. I
just realized that you deal yourself indirect
Yes.
damage. I didn't realize that earlier today when I read the card when I was blasting through them.
Spread it out.
it's
I think I like it more than I
The-
did
the only
2
time you-
hours ago.
the only time you remove indirect damage is like there's modifiers, right? So we've seen what's his name, the rebel pilot.
Wedge Antilles.
Wedge has a +3, right? So
okay.
that's a fucking closet case
Okay,
scenario.
I guess maybe if there's a ton
But-
of indirect damage. As it stands right now, I don't think it's amazing, but we'll revisit the card.
Cannon fodder though, bro.
it's
That's
kind of-
exactly.
Think about it.
I play heroism in every blue
fucking-
deck.
yeah.
That's what that is.
You're taking it away for 0. For 0.
And
I love
spreading
it.
it.
Yeah, I can just go ahead and
Or-
spread it if I have to. I don't have to take that 3 to the fucking teeth. I can't
Look
wait.
at that's perfect card for Dr. Afra too, right? She
yeah.
triggers off of indirect damage.
Is it neutral?
It is.
neutral.
It's
It
neutral
is
red, so she has to pair with red.
And I'm getting to pick which character or characters
Right.
get the damage, which is nice.
I can
So-
see the appeal. Like I'm playing a 3 wide. You have a rocket launcher. It hits
Mm-hmm.
the 4. I remove it and I spread it out between my 4 dudes. It's a lot more manageable that way. But as it stands, it's not an auto include for me. It's a nice card, but it's a very niche card as it stands in the current state of what we've seen from the new legacies.
I mean, it's 0 cost.
0 cost. So
And maybe there's more ways you can spread out that damage, right? The indirect damage. Like you've already
Exactly.
got that
What about-
droid, right?
Also the droid.
That droid's
yeah,
coming
the
out, so
bubble
now it's
shield.
like, so this is perfect. It's like, oh fuck,
So-
you rolled the 4 on this. Well, I'll
So
just-
now, if the meta doesn't even go to indirect damage, you can
Still
still use that droid
Yep,
Yeah.
with
to
this
turn
good
it
combo.
into it.
Good combo.
it's a good combo.
I like it.
Corey, you want to go over the battlefield?
Oh, the worst part,
Yeah.
arid wasteland.
What are you talking about, man? It's great.
it's,
we always have money.
Geonosis, and the claim is force an opponent to lose 1 resource.
It is no war-torn streets.
It's not as bad as War and Torn Streets. I think it's okay. Your opponent's sitting on a buck. There's some cards in his hand. You don't know what he's going to do. I have nothing left to do. I have no removal. My opponent knows it. I have no removal. Maybe I have no cards in hand. I claim, take away.
It's kind of
resource.
safe. It's another safe one.
It's a
Yeah.
safe one.
It's one that you're like, oh fuck. Well,
But-
I mean, you don't make a lot of money. It's not hurting you that much.
It's safe. That's all I can say about
Someone's
it. It's
claiming
safe.
it that early just to make you lose a buck. Like you're not going to get anyone to claim early for that.
Yeah, it's a safe one. It's like when people play Medical Facility
It's
or
tough.
they play. What was the one I played against you? Ewok Village. Like who claims to take shields.
I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes it could against Corey.
That would have helped my game today. Anyways,
I'm going to go on record.
all right.
War-torn streets is not as bad as Corey says it is.
Yeah, it's so bad.
What's
I've never used it once. So.
what you re-roll, and then that card's so good in your hand, you decide you're done re-rolling, and then I use War-torn streets to rip
Was
it
that
from
a-
your hand.
Was that it? I feel like there's a second chance.
Everybody
or
always
something.
saves their favorite card that they have left in their hand to their last card.
Not
and
me.
It's,
I'm
it's the
fucking
hardest
welcome.
choice, and then you just rip it from their hand with a claim.
Fair
Yeah.
enough.
I don't know. I'm not saying it makes tier 1, and I know there's better battlefields. But hey, we're the Jank
It's fun.
Collective, and
It's
it's fun. I have seen so many
Ugh.
frowny faces using war-torn
Yep.
streets.
And sometimes it's just
I've
me
had to
when I
use
rip
it, so.
something I didn't care about.
Yeah, including mine. I'm always hanging on to that second chance. So the Wasteland, I don't know, could be decent.
Interesting note, Wrist Rockets is villain. There's
Pew, pew.
no hero-only upgrades. So
Which I know I'm a villain guy. I'm really pissed that I can't use Force Focus. I'm just fucking kidding. That's a bag of
Force
shit.
Focus is neutral.
Yeah, you can use it.
I know, but I'm
can
not
use it.
gonna get that.
I can't use it
fucking
because it
package.
sucks, Sean.
I'm not spending $15 to get one. Sorry, I
Don't
only
you
play
want the
villain.
heirloom lightsaber.
No,
Yeah,
heirloom's sick. I like
heirloom's
it.
sick.
I like
Let's
it.
go over Force
Corey
Focus,
hates
Corey.
it. I like it.
All right, so we got Force
Spoiler
Focus. We got a good-looking Luke on the
Oh, that's Luke.
card here. That's definitely Luke, man.
Some chick.
Come on,
Look at that nose.
Yeah,
that was some chick.
there's
So
no
it-
Adam's apple.
So it costs 2. It's an upgrade
You
ability.
can't see the neck.
It's got 1 shield, 1 resource, 1 special, and a blank. To play, spot a blue character.
It was back when Mark Hamill was really attractive.
Yeah, I know. We're still talking about. Look at
Anyways,
those lips,
so-
though. Have you seen
Sorry,
those?
So the special, turn one of your dice to any side. You may reveal a blue card from your hand to turn an opponent's die to any side. So basically you're looking at like a use the force times 2 for the special.
It's a focus that affects both. It's a 2 focus that affects any die.
Initial thoughts,
For 2,
feels like a 1.5 cost upgrade that costs 2.
but even at a 1,
Taking a shield, taking a dollar, taking a dollar.
I mean,
these
it's
essentially
good for-
focuses.
it's
At a 1 I would play it.
yeah, but at a 2, are you gonna play it? Probably not.
It's tough. It's real tough at
Like
2.
you, what are you taking out to put that in?
I can't remember if this is a starter only card or not. I believe it is.
I think so.
Yeah, yeah. I think all these work.
If it was in a draft, I would take it.
Oh, totally.
Oh, yeah.
It's got like 2
It
tough
was-
focus sides, right?
But it's, I believe I'm 99% sure it is a starter card.
Pretty sure
You're not
all
going
of
to see
these
it in
are.
a draft. So, meh. Oh, there's a.
Meh, I think you
Hold
described
on.
it, Alex.
Hold on.
Meh.
I just had an epiphany.
There's
Oh, no.
better
This
cards.
is never.
Remember
Oh.
the Poe? The new Poe, right? Specials into
Good.
specials.
Oh Jesus!
Look what we got
Here
here.
we go.
So now we've got a special.
Oh,
You can
light
start that
bulb comes
special
on.
train, right? I've got a lipo sitting out there. This is on special. I turn the lipo to special and it immediately resolve it.
You know
because
when the
I'm resolving
Grinch gets the
specials.
little curl? I just seen the little curl there, Corey.
Actually, I think I heard an erection.
So, does that make it playable? I don't know.
Here's what you do. You go.
Poe.
You go. Force focus special into a Poe Dameron special, into a Y-wing special.
Ugh.
I think you guys are special.
We're we're bringing Poe back, baby.
Which Poe are we talking about here?
Old Poe.
Oh.
Well, or new Poe.
New
I mean,
Poe.
it's
I want
got
new
specials too.
That's the
real
new Poe.
special.
I was going with new Poe. I don't know where you're going.
All right, fuck the rest of the cards. Let's talk about my favorite one that I don't get to have unless I spend $30.
Here, I'll give you one. And I'll give you Mitch one because I'm gonna buy goddamn 4 of these.
Well, but I need.
Oh wait, these are hero only. No,
Yeah.
never mind, you guys.
It's not hero only. It's new.
Well, it's in the hero starter.
Okay,
you
so
guys
it's a
look at it.
shiny lightsaber. It's shiny. This one's shiny. The ancient one was kind of the dirty one. This one's shiny.
It's brand new.
Apparently, it's never been used.
It's an heirloom. It's from
Yep.
heirloom.
So it's 3 cost. Heirloom lightsaber. The die facings: 1 damage, 2 damage, 3 damage, 1 shield, $1, and a blank. The upgrade has the redeploy keyword while it's on a blue character. Why I like this? I like a lot of blue. So and I do like to play mono blue. On the villains side of things, I think this fits in there. Like it's another 3 coster that I would like to see. It's got 50% damage. I mean, it's got 2 and a 3. It's all good.
Okay.
It's got that redeploy. If you're
Similarly
playing mono,
costed.
keep in mind mono.
Similarly costed is the regular lightsaber, which has a 3 for $1, a +2,
+2, and a special.
and a special, and it has like a shield and
And a $1. Yeah.
Which is unblockable.
The special is 2 unblockable
It's nice,
damage.
but it's all over the place.
When you compare it, I would rather the heirloom because 9 times out of 10 when I have played lightsaber, I'm like, well, really don't want to hit that 3 for $1 or the +2 because I can't afford it.
Right?
And I have
Agreed.
nothing-
Agreed.
Yeah, so I do like the heirloom
It's
lightsaber
good.
just for that.
It's
Similarly costed.
Like, realistically, this is what really sucks. I'm gonna buy 2 of the fucking hero starter sets for this. I'm going to. I don't want to. I'm going to.
You're gonna pluck
So
out all the
you're
neutral cards.
welcome, FFG. You're welcome.
I think it's a niche. I think it's a niche card, man.
As someone who doesn't play blue, I couldn't care less for this card. When I do play blue, sure it'll go in, maybe if there's no other weapons I want, but I don't think it's for someone who doesn't play blue. It's not exciting for me.
No. I mean, it's not an exciting card. It's not.
I think it's a 2-cost card.
Really?
The only reason it's 3 is because they gave it redeploy on a blue character.
And
I'm comparing it to
and
the ancient lightsaber.
3 without a cost though.
Ancient lightsaber.
Comparing it to the ancient.
The ancient lightsaber costs 2 and allows to
It's
heal.
got the +3.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I like it. You should like it with all the new toys you got to make things cheaper. I mean, play this with an ancient.
We've already got
off of a Padawan. Go ahead, play your Rey with the 2 Padawans like you like.
we've
You know
already
this
got-
fits. You know this fucking fits.
Maybe in villains,
Yeah.
but we've already
Yeah,
got
exactly.
Shotos and all
You go sit on your light side of the Force, you cockfuck. Just understand that this is good for me, okay?
I
Sean's
don't
really
know.
excited. He's got a
Yeah,
truck for it.
I can get on board with that, actually.
Oh, now you're
Right.
taking his side. Well, fuck
No, I'm gonna want this card, and it's gonna cost me $30 as well for 2 fucking cards.
You might get something else in
Yeah.
there too.
Yeah, you also get Force Focus. That's fine.
But no, I kind of hear what
It's
Corey's
on the
saying,
edge,
though. Yeah,
right? And it's literally you're only gonna play it in a blue deck.
I think what puts it over the top for me, in that I think it'll be an include in my binder for sure, is the redeploy.
Sure.
I mean, depends how much blue you're playing. This is why it gets me excited. I play a lot of blue. So
A nice thing with this is if you have, say, you're running the Seventh Sister with 2 Servant of the Dark Sides, because it's redeploy doesn't count towards the Servant of the Dark Side's ability. So if they have like a Mind Probe and
it
his
goes and
lightsaber,
something else goes.
both
I like
go
the no
over.
pay sides as well. I'm on the same
Sure.
page as you, Alex, with that. I don't play Captain Phasma's blaster in my Cad Bane deck, only because it has a pay side. I pay the Relby, and everybody shakes their head except for
Why?
this guy
Why?
here.
Relby's
And
amazing.
it's for that reason. I don't want the pay side on Captain Phasma's
I thought you
blaster.
were the 1% though.
There's
Should have
2
tons of
people
money.
that I'll remove that +3 Relby against. And it is,
You too. Hey, I watched you do it against a kid today. The kid couldn't be more than 8 years old.
I
This
deflected it, to be fair.
In all fairness, you would have removed it no matter what.
I played Captain
no
Phasma's
money. I was
blaster in the deck up
You
till
didn't
the
know it
nerf,
did that.
and I liked it.
Let's go.
But I missed the Relby not having to pay for it. When you're shaking those dice and you go to roll it in, and you're thinking to yourself, how am I going to be able to pay for what shows up on my ambush action here with the other dice? And
That's fair.
it just feels good knowing that it's probably going to hit damage, and I don't have to pay for it. That's why I like this too. I'm on board.
Fair
with
enough.
that.
That's fair. We'll just quickly glance over Millennium Falcon.
Corey?
It's new Millennium Falcon,
Comment?
2 range, 3 range, 4 indirect for $1, 2 shields, $2, blanks. This one has a blank compared to the old Millennium Falcon, which doesn't have a blank. And
But
then
it's
after
got-
you activate the support, you may activate one of your characters. It's $4, same as the old Millennium
Right.
Falcon, correct? Mm-hmm. It's efficient on actions. You can reckless reentry it, but there's the risk of the blank compared to the old Millennium Falcon.
Just the fact that you can activate a character, right?
I'm probably
Yes.
stating the obvious, but if you can afford this in a ranged deck, it's awesome.
It seems good.
3 damage sides, and then has $2 and 2 shields. It's not $1 and 1 shield. If it was $1 and 1 shield, it'd be a huge pass.
Right?
There's
Sides
it's-
with 1 now, I agree, are getting less and less interesting. 1 shield, $1, 1 discard. I want to see the 2s now.
Look at the
Show me the 2s.
When I'm paying $4, I'm expecting 2s on every single dive side that isn't.
Look at the
black
numbers
or
on here.
special.
Just look at the numbers on here.
Yeah.
You got overconfidence in this deck anywhere? You're gonna love it.
It's worth it for 4, especially in
Yep.
the Harem as rookie pilot deck. It's Why would you not put all 4 million? Oh, I guess you can't put all 4 million Falcons in there. Can you?
So
I'm not
planned
sure.
explosion.
I'll have to look at the rules on that
Well,
one. But
when Corey sends
Does it
3...
fit in a planned explosion deck?
I don't know.
I don't know why I'd rather planned explosion when I can just take the 3 damage. And
Yes,
everything
we
else,
play planned explosion in these parts of the
No,
woods.
he plays.
There's some interesting interactions with that after effect. So just straight away you're looking at the pilot. So I roll the Millennium Falcon. Oh, now I can roll the pilot. Oh, now I can re-roll the Millennium Falcon.
lead by example. I roll in the Millennium Falcon. I roll in someone with lead by example. I roll in my Y-Wing.
Yeah.
Things got faster.
So it's kind of cool. And it goes with Han, right?
Yeah.
Because new Han does some re-rolling or something.
Yeah, when he activates, he re-rolls a die. Any die.
Any day.
Which is pretty cool.
It's like Jabba.
Yeah, exactly like
I
Jabba.
can react to this character, re-roll a die, use an opponent's. I
So-
think it's fine.
I like it.
I like it.
cool.
Is Hera gonna like it?
Hera will probably like it. Impulsive. It is a yellow hero event, cost 0, and is ambush, and resolve one of your dice. I saw this card, I looked at it, I'm like, oh, neato. 0 cost, not going in my gym deck. Straight up.
Well, I love zero cost cards. You only see this in a deck that wants to go super fast.
It's fine in like any other deck that is a yellow hero deck. You want to go fast. Sabine, for example. Oh, hey, I'm just going to resolve Ezra's dollar so I can pay for Sabine's side. There we go. There's some interactions with that. As a Jin player or as someone who plays, if I'm playing yellow hero, I'm playing Jin. It's 0. It affects Jin's ability. It disrupts my gameplay. So I'm not a fan of it, but I can see decks that can fit it.
It's almost like Kanan's ability on a card, except you can use it on any die.
I really enjoy the theme of this. It's impulsive. So if you're like, well, I could resolve this 2 range damage, but then if I roll a modifier, well, then I can't use the mod. It's an interesting play, right? I really like it. Impulsive. Really thematic card.
It's kind of like rolling in Maz, hitting a focus and then immediately resolving, right?
Yeah.
Resolve a focus, then do whatever you focused.
Exactly. I think it's cool. I wouldn't put it in a Jin deck. If I was playing any other yellow hero deck, it would probably go in. Action efficiency is great, especially when you're like, well, I really want to claim, but I really want to do damage. Well, I can do both now. I can do the damage and I can claim because my opponent has nothing left to do.
Right.
Really nice.
Who likes money?
Yep. Maz's Vault, 0 cost. It is a unique, so you can only have 1 out on the table. It's a support, interesting enough, support location. That's new. Each player gains 1 additional resource during the upkeep phase. This is a card that is actually not in the starter sets. It is, I believe, a uncommon. Interesting. I feel like I'm throwing 1 in my Jin deck. I play a lot of really expensive stuff. I don't care if my opponent has money. I'm playing the long con. I don't actually play long con. I play the long con.
So I was playing a lot of Truce tonight in my deck, and
There's some stuff you can do with this.
it's definitely a risky card, this, right? You're giving your opponent more resources. So if he's sitting on an expensive deck, I don't know if it's going to favor you more, but I was playing a character like Ezra with Truce, so this is kind of the same thing. If you start with 3 resources and the guy can't spend them all fast enough for Ezra to steal them, yeah, this card could work for you. But it seems like a slippery slope.
I really like how they put Maz's Vault with the new Millennium Falcon. So you play Maz's Vault, right? On round 2 of the game, you've already spent all your money. Your opponent's like, well, they can't play anything expensive. And right before the round ends, you drop Maz's Vault. Maz's Vault, you start with $3. You truce. You play a Millennium Falcon.
I think if you're going to play an expensive deck that just wants tons of cash,
And you don't care.
and you can outramp your opponent, which is, it's a
interesting.
strategy.
It's interesting. It's like that double-edged sword. I can't wait to see people play it.
If I had a card like this for
tickling
the
my
cat
finger.
deck, yeah.
That's what I mean. So if I come up against you, maybe I just
You don't play
throw
it.
that card back.
You
in
do.
there.
You do not play it.
I think you don't play it.
You're not playing it.
I
It's a
think
reroll.
it's a reroll
But-
card at that point.
Fuck that.
It's interesting.
it is a unique, so you can only have 1. You can't just have $4.
Which that'd be getting out of hand.
Yeah, it might be getting out of hand. But I like it, especially in a Jin deck again. It plays a lot of expensive cards. I need money. This gives me money. I don't really care if my opponent has money. Pretty nice card. And finally, we're going with Outer Rim Outpost, which is claim, gain a resource, draw a card.
Like it.
Like it.
So
Nobody called it. We liked it.
does this get rid of what's the one that just gets a resource
Moisture
for you?
Farm.
Yeah.
Well, it's also, do you care if your opponent draws a card?
Mm-hmm.
If you care for your opponent drawing a card, like, oh, I don't like this card. They toss it and they draw more cards. It will probably replace Maz's Castle for me in my Generoso decks. I like gaining money. I like drawing cards.
Gives you both.
It gives me best of both worlds between Moisture Farm and this. It's really
What's the
interesting how
advantage?
I really enjoy between Maz's Castle, which is draw 2 cards, place any number at the bottom of your deck, or something like Moisture Farm and now Grell's Spaceport. There are certain locations that are kind of getting phased out. Like, why would you play Moisture Farm when you could play Grell's Spaceport? Sure, your opponent could, oh, that's a 4 for $1 I can't pay for. Well, now it's $2 for me.
I also noticed that C3PO is definitely offering up legs there. If you notice in the art, it's like, what do you think of this?
Other than searching,
Don't fucking just bypass that. Look at that. Look at those legs.
fuck your couch. Other than cycling through your deck looking for a card, what's it good for? I just don't see it. I don't see the benefit to this.
Because you can pitch, right? So you'll take the card. If maybe you don't need it, you can pitch it.
That's what I'm saying. Other than I'm really looking for the Vibro Knife, or
Helps you
I'm
dig.
really looking for Truce. I don't care what card you're looking for.
Helps you dig.
And now you kind of draw 6 cards. It's not the one you
You're-
want, so
you're
you
playing-
pitch it and draw 5 more.
You're playing a fast deck. You say you're playing a fast deck that already had Moisture Farm. Do you now just take this one? Yes or no?
I mean, it gives you an extra advantage. The same as Moisture.
No, I
I'm
don't
not sure.
see. I'm not. Yeah, I don't see the difference. If I'm being honest.
Okay.
It's just for digging. That's
all.
Yeah, like if you're digging.
It's just giving you money with another advantage.
I agree. If you're digging, I tend to not dig. I see what you're saying. There's no disadvantage to playing it versus Moisture Farm. So sure, why don't you play it? I
don't think it
from
hurts.
a guy sitting at a desk design point when he made this card. Sometimes how I look at some of the cards, I like to think, what was the guy thinking?
It's a bit
Corrosion.
Eventually, they're gonna stop printing location cards.
Right?
They're gonna have to.
Is this a case of they're getting low on ideas this week?
No.
Or like maybe it also future-proof stuff where it's like, okay, well, we're gonna phase out Awakenings. What replaces Awakenings? Now it's Grell Spaceport and now Outer Rim Outpost.
If it was like, and if you don't like this, if it was kind of like the one where you pull 3 or whatever and can put them on the bottom of your deck. If you don't like this card, put it on your bottom of your deck, then I can see. But
Yeah, Maz's Castle does that, but then
Maz's
if it's-
Castle. I don't know why I couldn't remember that card.
Yeah,
but-
if it's a draw card and then you can place this card at the bottom of your deck, then it's a different version of Maz's Castle, but also a different version of. It's weird. It's in a weird design space. I like it. It'll probably go on my Jin deck instead of Maz's Castle. It allows me to dig and get money. I'm a big fan of both things.
Cool.
Don't think there's anything else we can really touch on. We've really kind of gone.
Is there
over
anyone
everything.
left?
Yeah, if there's anyone left watching.
If there's anyone left.
Yeah. So
How do we do?
hour and a half. I'm really
fuck.
proud of us. I didn't. I was honestly expecting. us
You
to
didn't
go
think
45
that
minutes,
I
yeah.
could just talk?
So.
How long have you known me?
So if you're interested in watching more of our content, we do have some games from a draft night that we played at Century Box, and we have our Art of War event up on the Calgary Destiny or YYC Destiny channel. We'll be posting out more videos. We're doing monthly tournaments, and we'll be recording those. We're going to try and make this podcast probably bi-weekly because there's not a whole lot to talk about.
We got stuff to talk about, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
If people are listening and you guys like it, I could see us probably even doing weekly, but I mean, we'll play it by ear. This is the first time, I think, for all of us that we've done something like this. We just, I don't know, we like talking Destiny.
Yeah, we like to talk Destiny a lot.
Yeah, I don't think any of us thought we were going to sit here and be amazing tonight or anything, but we're definitely into doing it.
We filled an hour and a half, and I'm
hopefully
really
there's
proud of
people
us.
still listening to this, so
Yep.
that's good.
So keep an eye out. There'll definitely be more podcasts. We just don't know what the time frame of those will be.
Where are we going to be putting this?
This will be going up on our YouTube channel. It'll either be the Jank Collective YouTube channel, or I'll probably throw it up on the YYC Destiny channel if I can't rename it.
Yep.
It'll be going up on SoundCloud. If I can, we'll try and get to a few other places. Yeah,
Yep.
kind of it.
We'll get it where we can.
Yep. So
Let us know. Let us know in the comments below.
let
Send
us
us a
know in the
like.
comments.
Don't give me a fucking dislike though, because
Give us a thumbs
I've
up.
got very thin skin.
If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. Give us your feedback. Right now we're in a one mic setup. We're gonna be getting a I can't remember the word off the top of my head.
No.
Something to stop all this.
No. I think the washcloth is a fine touch for a $200 mic. So I think it's fine. We'd like to thank
It's a
Summersby.
microfiber. It's not just a
and Yeti.
washcloth. It's a microfiber.
It's a microfiber.
All right.
Yeah, but other than
right,
that,
guys.
thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.
Bye.
Cheers.